Hello. Got to just adjust this microphone. Um, Welcome. It's midnight for me. Like on the stroke of midnight. I was gonna do this maybe like 5 hours later, but I'd rather sleep. So I know for some people it's like kind of early evening, and if you're in America, late morning. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I feel like I'm on the Truman Show. Um, Thank you to everybody who's here. I've got 30 currently, which is brilliant. I know you can't, I don't think you can really see how many there are. Hello to everyone who's here. Also, I do encourage you to please just use the chat. I know some of you just kind of sit back and are either a bit too shy to chat or feel like you don't have something to say, but please do it because I really like seeing everybody who's here. And for me, this is like a huge hangout and I really have fun doing this, to be honest, which is why I do. Let's see who's here and then I'll do a continent shout out and wait for a few more viewers. We've got Tanya, who's got the wine. Hi, Tanya. Hi to Samuel. I know some of these people who comment and watch a lot of my videos. So thank you for being here. QVNTM. I don't know you very well. Well, hello. Cynthia, hello. Okay, Cynthia's from America. Someone from Greece. Brilliant. Page Monster's here. Hello, Page Monster. Nightwish lover. Look, we need a Nightwish lover here because we all are anyway. Sandra. So Sandra, that means is in America. Hello to you, Benjamin. Hi. It's really, really good. Oh, sorry, Sandra, you're in Toronto. My apologies. I just assumed anybody who's 10 a.m. is in America. Germany. I think I've kind of put this at a better time for Europe because, as I said, I'm usually 5 hours later, my 5 a.m., which means that there are a lot of issues for Europe. So we're going to do a Oh, Cynthia, great to see that's your first stream. I haven't done too many, but we'll talk about that as well in a moment. So I'm going to do a big continent shout out, and I'm going to start anyway from where I am. So let's go. Anybody in Australia? So anybody who's brave enough at 12 a.m. to be up watching just some random Australian person. And when I say Australia, I also mean. Are you serious? Thank you, Sydney. So you're in Sydney with me. That's brilliant. We'll have to talk about that. So great. One person from Australia. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Benjamin. Well, I am random until somebody recognizes me on the street. Nobody has. So one from Australia. Not sure what's going on. We'll go north. Not sure what's going on with Asia because might be about 10 p.m. there. So any shout outs for Asia, and I mean as well Southeast Asia, Philippines, Indonesia, anybody from Asia, please speak up now. But we will get to America soon, but I'm working up and then we're going to go left. Hong Kong, yes. Brilliant. So hello to Zad Claudia from Hong Kong. What time is it there? Like, I'd assume it would probably be about 11 p.m. Oh, Graham from Adelaide. Brilliant. Thank you. So it should be around 11:30 p.m. for you, Graham. So so 10 p.m. in Hong Kong. I really, really like the fact that you're up at midnight nearly to watch me is just incredible. It blows me away. Yeah, I feel like maybe this time is probably a little bit better to do a stream. So I've got one from Hong Kong. I've done my Asia shout out. We're going to go left to Europe. All right, let's go Europe. And I know there's some from Finland. There's one from Romania. UK, brilliant. Hi, Durabel. Thank you for joining. I'm going to just drink my water because I need to stay hydrated. My 1.5 litre 80-cent water from Coles. We've had the harshest lockdown here in Sydney. I'm not sure what it was like everywhere else, but those in Sydney know what's going on with this fun Delta strain. Shout out to anybody who's gotten COVID. Please put in the comments if you've gotten COVID and survived. Well, I assume you survived. I don't want it to be like trigger warning and something terrible, but yeah, if you have, please put it in the comments. But I haven't yet. Yes, it is Coles Water. So we've got, let's see who's our Europe people. So French in the UK, Belgium, brilliant, from Finland. So no one's got COVID or has had COVID. I find that hard to believe. It's a little bit more, I feel like, prevalent in... I mean, as I said, we had the most ridiculous strict lockdowns in Sydney, and we still do. We're finally allowed, if we're double vaccinated, we're finally allowed to have picnics with 5 people within 5 kilometers of our household, but those other people need to be within 5 kilometers too, and everybody needs to be double vaccinated. Sandra hasn't had COVID. Too busy to... Oh, no. All right, I won't. Oh, yeah. Look, I think we're at this position where we're kind of all going to get it. Yeah. Yeah, I've had quite a few tests where they kind of stick the thing up your nose. Denmark. So we got someone from Denmark too. Oh, so Stefan had COVID a month ago, spent a week in hospital. Thank you for sharing that. And it's good to know that you recovered. 6 weeks ago. Oh, so Cynthia got it as well. I'm glad that it was mild. Wow. Okay. So I've gone Europe. Let's go South Africa. Who's from Africa? I know last time I think I had someone from South Africa, but no other African countries. So I kind of feel like, oh, sorry, I should have started a lot more south. I should have started in Antarctica, but I'm not sure. I'll also do the Antarctica call out, but I don't know how many penguins I've got at the moment. A fin here. So no one from Africa. No one from Africa. Final call out for Africa, because we're about to go west to South America. Congratulations on your first jab, Stefan. South America. Who's from South America? Oh, okay, Stefan, South Africa. You just got it in. Oh, sorry, I probably didn't see. My apologies. If I missed South Africa as well. I'm waiting for any other African country. Who's from South America? So I've got someone from every continent so far. This is brilliant. Except Antarctica. But I don't know. I can't be sure that... Don't think there's any emperor penguins. No one from South America. I know there's a few, and there was somebody last time as well. Julie, where are you from? Oh, you're in the States. Okay. Let's go up. So US. Who's in the US? And look, sorry, I'm gonna put Canada in there too. So North America. Who's in North America? Folks. Yeah, hopefully there are people. Imagine if there were people watching me from the research station. I'd be gobsmacked. Yeah, so Julie said, whereabouts in the States are you, Julie? So you don't have lockdown. Everything is open and people are spreading. Yeah. Here, as I said, in Sydney. So those who are in Sydney with me, that's one person. Who was the person again? Yeah, QVNTMF. Sorry. No. Okay. So yeah, you're in Virginia. Samuel's in US. Yeah, like in Sydney, as I said, it's been ridiculous. We've had the most ridiculous, harsh lockdown rules. People have been up in arms, but a lot of people have been ruining it and just continuing to flout the rules. And there have been pretty big fines going around as well. 2 people in Sydney. Oh, sorry, Benjamin, I forgot. Yes, you are in Sydney. So there's 3 of us then in Sydney. Sorry, Benjamin, my apologies. And then there is someone in Adelaide too. Yeah, it's been really kind of like, I mean, a lot of people have been doing it tough and everything's closed. It's not just like, when I say everything, I mean most things are closed, and some things are essential. Yeah, I don't know how they make a yeah, some things which are really not essential, but it's been pretty bad. So yeah. Oh wow, so Julie, everybody in your boss's office has got COVID. Yeah, last time I did a live stream, I don't think I asked who's got COVID, but that was before Delta. Okay. All right, we've done the continent shout out. So just a few things before I start. So I will I just want you to know that at any time, please just spam the chat, utilize the chat, write whatever. I'll do my best to see what's going on, and I want to make sure that I try to address everybody as much as possible. But I want this to flow as well as possible too, and make sure that we're having fun and we're not just staying on one thing for too long and people are getting bored. But please, just spam the chat. I really don't mind. I always say it at the beginning, and I might say it later on, but I'm not really going to push it because it looks lame and it looks desperate, and that's not what I am about. Super chat is on. If you are would like to donate, please go for it. If you don't want to, I don't care. That's fine. I'm having fun doing this with you anyway, but I'm not going to go super chat because that's ridiculous. But I'll let you know exactly what I've prepared and what we're doing. I am going to do a poll. So firstly, I did do a community poll on who's the favorite, or what people's favorite, I guess let's call it, movement or section of this amazing orchestral work was, and there were no surprises for the results, but I'm not going to show them yet, but you probably could see them. I'm going to create a poll right now, and it's going to have to be done in two, okay? So it's going to be the first four and then the next four, but I have to end the poll before I go to the other one. So the question is, which is your favorite out of the 8? That's what I want to see at the moment from the people who are here. The 38 people are here. So the first is going to be I've been asked if I'm going to analyze a fan-made video. No, I did already do one with the fan-made video. This is a very, very big analysis. So this is something we'll talk about in a moment. Sorry. I was meant to do that as a poll, but I just wrote it up. My apologies. So which is... so the first one is going to be just the first 4. Do not answer it if none of those are your favorite. I'm going to have it up for about 1 minute, okay? So Vista, the blue, the green, and I believe the one after that was Moors. So don't answer this if your favorite is in the 4. So there should be a poll that's just gone up. Can we see it? Did it work? Here we go. So I'm only going to be having this up for a very, very short time. So please understand that, because I have to do the second half. Let me just put this in my spreadsheet. Oh, good. Everybody's voting. I like it. So we're probably going to have that. I've only got 9 votes. 10. Okay. Again, don't vote. Page Monster's favorite hasn't changed, and that's fine. I'm not expecting favorites to change as well yet, but let's see. Let's see what happens after this analysis. I'm going to keep it up for about another 10 seconds, so we've got to be fast on our fingers. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, so that means that maybe everybody's favorite is a lot later. Let me just see the results. Do I get to see? Okay, that's cool. I'll put it in the spreadsheet in a moment. So the next poll will be... All right, let's see the order for this. I believe it's... Aurora. Quiet as snow. Anthropocene. And should I put Ad Astra, or should I just leave that out? Okay, let me just put this in my spreadsheet. I'm just putting in some data, so that's why I'm a little bit silent at the moment. My apologies. And then I'll share that with you. Let's see how many votes are happening here. Oh, so many votes. There's at least double the amount of votes already. I love it. We know Ad Astra is a favorite. And there's no surprises why. There's several reasons, but we will go through that in my analysis, because my analysis, this is not a reaction, let me just say, and I'm going to touch up on my views of reactions as well, but this is not a reaction. This is I've heard this so many times, and I continue to hear this many times, and I have prepared an analysis, musical analysis. So it's not a reaction. For those of you who think that this might be first time listening, it's not. This is in depth. However, hopefully it will be interesting for you. I'm going to end the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end poll. So if you can just bear with me, and as I said, always utilize this chat, because I really like seeing your messages while I put in what's happening. Put things in the wrong order before. My apologies. Don't worry, you'll see what I'm doing. I've got an Excel spreadsheet, because we're going to compare. I know there are a lot more people voting in the community one. I'm not expecting everybody to be here who was voting in the community, and that's why I'm doing this now, because I want to see who's doing who actually here has opinions on whichever ones, because I'm not concerned with the community. I'm concerned with those who are here. All right, let's see that I got this right. And how many votes? 29. So altogether, we got 29 plus 12 votes, which is 41. Whew. All right. I've got my Excel spreadsheet here, so I'm going to share that with you on my screen, so you can see what I've done, how many votes there were, and there are no surprises really. I might be in front of it. Let's see what's going on. Now, you know what? I'll turn off the... Okay, so this one in green here is the community one. So for the community one, we had 199 votes, which I only put up the other day, really. And you can see the percentage breakdown here. This percentage is actually out of 200. The reason is because it was split into two. However, it does this calculation here is based on the amount of people. So this is not a percentage graph. This is a amount of people graph out of 199. But considering that it's nearly 200, we can just halve them and probably have a pretty rough percentage. There's no surprise here that we've got a good 80% on Ad Astra and the one with the lowest is Anthropocene. And you know what? There's probably a reason for that. And I think this is something we can talk about too, because this is really good data. And I'm going to link this compositionally as to why do we not favor something like Anthropocene or not favor something like Aurora, but favor Ad Astra or favor Moors or favor the blue. And there's really big reasons why the blue is always winning out. So let's see. Oh, no. I thought I had a graph. Oh, yeah, I do have a graph. Okay, it just disappeared. So this is the in-stream poll. I have 40. I should have 41 in total. My total's not here, but that's simple mathematics. The numbers are not there very well, are they? I don't think I set this up the best. But we can at least see here that the trend is somewhat similar. We have obviously Ad Astra way up, and a few more people liking Aurora and Quiet as the Snow, it looks like. But Moors and the blue being the ones which people like most out of those first four. That seems to be consistent. So let's see how this goes during the stream, and I'm just going to have some more water. And whether your opinions change. Because I kind of hope they do. That doesn't mean that I've got anything against Ad Astra, because I absolutely tear up pretty much every time. Did someone just donate? I'm so sorry I didn't see. Stalin, mate, thank you so much. I know that was a long time ago. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I was I didn't even see that. I've been enjoying your videos for a while now. Thank you so much, Stalin. I really do appreciate it. You are amazing. But you're all amazing, but I really do appreciate it. The cello on the blue is sublime. Yeah. Actually, on my initial reaction that I did, I called it a double bass, and I actually made a comment, egg on my face if it's not a double bass. And then I did a little green screen egg thing, because when I did go back and edit, I'm like, crap, it's actually a cello. And the reason why I thought it was a double bass was because it hit a B flat 1, and cellos are the lowest as C2. Obviously, it was drop tuned the lowest string down a tone. So that's not... that's obvious that you're just tuning down the string one tone. That's not hard to do. Kind of like you do with the guitar if you're doing drop D tuning from E to D. So a lot of people are talking about, especially the beginning of Anthropocene makes me feel uncomfortable. So this is Sound Ocean in a way that I can't explain, but in a way that's fitting. It makes me love the entire piece. Sound Ocean, that's amazing. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Everything that you feel, and this is what this stream is about, what you're feeling about this orchestral piece, there are reasons, and we will talk about it. I'm going to talk about that, and so hopefully that will help you out. The Ellen pipes for a track called The Moors, but most composers have it more efficient to produce a track than, and we're going to talk about that instrument too, don't you worry. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Yes, I do. I needed the spreadsheet because we really needed to make sure that we have the data presented in a more scientific manner. There is a reason why many people don't like Anthropocene, and I'll talk about it when we get to it. Cynthia, connection's not very good. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. That's really sweet. Don't worry if you can't. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so I will go through. If there's anybody who needs to say something, I'll try my best to get to it. So a few things before we start. YouTube picks up on copyright on live streams. And copyright is not usually a really big thing when people use other people's copyrighted content, like a song. Usually it's a song or a video clip. It gets given a content ID claim, usually. That doesn't mean that you can't release it or it's blocked. It just means that you can't monetize it. Sometimes it means it's blocked, though. With live streams, they pick it up live. So if there's too much going on, there will be a disruption to the stream and a potential shutdown. So I need to be careful and make sure that I am pausing it appropriately, and I'll do my best to pause pause it at appropriate places so that we don't lose the sense of, I guess, emotion, which is happening. At the same time, I need to get the analysis in, but I'll do my best to get the analysis in, have an appropriate amount of listening to balance out any issues with copyright and the stream being shut down. So I need to be very clear on that. Just in case you get angry that I stop it, I want to do my best. Sorry, my mouth is going dry. And it's 12:25 a.m. for me. So that's this. Oh, and I've already said, this is not a reaction. Some of you may know that I've expressed some disdain. Not disdain. Disdain's a bad word. Some issues regarding reactions, because a lot of people start reaction channels and not realize what they really mean. And what happens is that you get an influx of subscribers, Nightwish being one of them, because of the Nightwish army, because Floor has a very big following. Reacting to Nightwish will get you a bunch of subscribers, and I did coin that term reactivate. There are others that I've done on my channel, as you know, Dimash, Ginger. These artists get a lot of subscribers. BTS is another one. I haven't done K-pop, and I'm not going to do K-pop unless for some reason I change my mind. I've slowed down in getting subscribers because I've refused to do reactivate hugely, because you only get subscribers for a particular band or a particular artist. And then what happens is that you release videos which don't appeal to those people, which is fine, and that's understandable, and they end up getting lost in the feed. And if you're not seeing my videos come up, that probably means you're only clicking on specific videos. And that's fine. I understand that, because it's fair enough. However, this is one of the things. The more artists that I do and the more subscribers I pull in from that, the more you're stuck on a wheel. So I'm not doing things to please subscribers. I'm doing things for me. And hands down, this album is probably one of the best albums I've heard ever. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing a stream about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wasting my time actually analyzing the hell out of these songs, because I really love them. I love the first disc, but I've got to say the orchestral disc is really, really good and is really something else for me. And I feel like recently, for me, listening to it has really edged forward on my thoughts of the first one. Oh, Starlin, you're leaving. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your generosity. Please take care. Hopefully you catch the stream later on when it's been saved. Yeah, reactivate is a good term and so fitting. I sometimes subscribe to channels. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sound Ocean, because it really puts the it makes the person doing the reaction think it's about them, but it's not. So these are things that reaction channels understand later on. And when I started it, I just wanted to give my opinions on music. But when people request you to do something like Ghost Love Score or Ginger Pisces, that's a huge one that's requested. You do it because people ask for it. And then in come the subscribers. You look back at your YouTube analytics and realize that people are clicking off your video after the song ends. That is not a problem, but it just goes to show that people are not there for the right reasons. Tank the Tech. I don't know who Tank the Tech is, and trying to find new bands. Yeah, and that's why I want to try and do some of my own stuff. I'm always going to be doing analyses, but I'm not going to jump on huge reactivate. Julie, thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it, and I do my best to try to make things interesting and not just reactions, but analyses, as you know, and try to use my knowledge that I have. But you know what? I use that knowledge, but I end up learning a lot more from you guys. I really do. I 100% do. So I really, really appreciate it. You know what? This started 30 minutes ago and we haven't even started listening. So just so you know, it's not a reaction. There is a lot of not a lot, an amount of preparation which has gone into this. I've got a Word document. You've seen I've got my thing. I've got a thesis statement. I've got a lot that I'm trying to talk about. I've got a background knowledge of the song. This is not a reaction. It's a group listening and an analysis. And at any point, if you want to weigh in and just go, I think this, I think that, I'll do my best to see if I can see it in the comments and speak about it. And I'm going to try and pace this as best as I can. Firstly, and then we're about to start. I know it's been a long time, so thank you so much. This always happens. Yeah, I should check out Tank, I think. Okay, so I'm just reading this off here. Stuff to know, this is a musical analysis. For me, I know this might hit hard for some people. For me, music is science. Music hits your emotion, in my opinion, for scientific reasons. So for me, music is science. Everything is science. And that's my opinion. Doesn't mean that I'm right. That's also my professional opinion. But at the same time, there are music teachers out there who would disagree with me. But for me, first and foremost, music is science. Feelings of beauty come from this science. And if you're somebody who feels that analyzing a piece of music destroys your musical experience, which is okay, please proceed at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say. Does that mean we're not going to absorb the beauty? No. But I'm going to explain the beauty through composition, which is pretty much creative and scientific. I hope that makes sense. For me, understanding that science actually amplifies the musical experience and helps me appreciate it more. And I'm hoping that's the same for you. The loudest bass on the internet sold me. Sorry, Spartan can't stay. I'm not going to say where I teach. I teach at a high school, KL. If you know people from that high school, you're probably, if for some reason, then yeah, I'm not going to say because this is separate to my job. I can't talk about that. Music is a body chemistry reaction. Ghost Love's Scoregasm video was mind blowing. Thank you, Tanya. I really enjoyed making that. Yeah, it is just KL. It is a high school in Sydney. So this musical analysis, it will go into some depth of music theory, but it's not going to go into huge depth that I'm going to be throwing out musical terminology which you don't understand. So don't worry, you won't need to know how to read music or anything. It's not a problem. The terminology I'll strive for it to be as inclusive as I can to people who have a lot of knowledge and who have zero knowledge, because I want it to be all inclusive. And there are some terms which I may need to explain a little bit further. Also, in this analysis, we will answer the following questions. So why does each piece or movement, if we want to call them, why do they seemingly work so well together? And why are there several parts which bring us to tears? And there are a couple for me, and I'm sure for you too. And then there was a really good one in there, which in the chat, where somebody said they don't like Anthropocene because it makes them feel uncomfortable. I'm going to talk about that because it's a really, really good one. There is little room for subjectivity in this analysis. It will be viewed musically, hence scientifically. Any subjectivity will be speculation. So we can say it makes us feel a certain thing, but that's not a fact. It's subjective. But in my analysis, I'm going to be as objective as I can. Also, I like being wrong. I love being wrong. If I say something which you disagree with, jump in. I don't care. This is important for me because this is the way that I learn. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading a few things. Everything is science, that's why I'm here. Thank you, Durabel. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not sure, Durabel, if you've heard, because I know you're in with Finnish bands. I think, did you say you're Finnish? But this is orchestral. So if you haven't heard it, that's fine. even if you're not a Nightwish fan, if you're not a metal fan or a symphonic metal fan, this is not symphonic metal. This is absolutely not. Yeah. Okay. So just a couple of terminology. I will use words like musical theme or idea, or possibly motif. These are just small musical fragments which the composer uses and uses several times in different ways. So if I say musical theme, it usually just means a small bit which defines that particular part or movement. And I use the word texture as well, which means density of sound, so layers, so different instrumentation on top of each other. Thin texture would mean small amount of instruments played. Thicker texture would mean many instruments played, as a rule of thumb. As you know, I'll be stopping for discussion. I'm always encouraging constant and consistent questions. This will enable us to think deeper and also bring up some great points not covered here. Before we start, any questions? And I'm going to get this up. I will be using the keyboard. I just want to make sure you can hear it. Please let me know if there were any problems. Should have been able to hear that. Okay. Hopefully that worked. Yep, perfect. I'm not doing the fan video because this one here is split up into different chapters, which will make it easier for me to talk about. Vista. This is one of my favorite ones. Vista actually has two different themes in this. It's about 3 minutes or so, but there are two different themes. The one which is beautiful theme played by the cello in the low register, and a theme which is first introduced with vocals. We'll talk about them, and spoiler alert, both of them return later on in another movement. If you think it was just one of them, no, it's both of them. Let's have a listen.
There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. There is society where none intrudes, by the deep sea and music in its roar. I love not man the less, but nature more.
I love that. We're going to go back a little bit. Zard Claudia said D minor is always Thomas's favorite key. Yes, this does start in D minor. This theme is beyond gorgeous. Like, it returns later on. If anybody knows which movement it returns in, you feel free to say it in. You probably do. The cello is absolutely beautiful. It is my all-time favorite instrument. I'm a piano player. I can't play cello well at all, but I've got one. I'd splurged on it and don't play it much. But it is my all-time favorite instrument. And playing in that low register, it sings. It's gorgeous. And the reason why the cello works so well is because the cello, the range of the cello is akin to the entire range pretty much of human vocals. So the lowest note is that one, which is a C2. And the highest note can get with harmonics can get probably much higher than a C5. So the point that I'm trying to make is cello, the range of the cello works with every vocal range. So it can sing any melody. Yeah, Sandra, it sings, and the cello sings because it can reach every pitch a human can, and lower and sometimes higher. This should be the lowest note, but this cello is tuned down one tone on its lower string, so the lower note is that over there. We mentioned that we're in D minor. I'm saying his name wrong. What Thomas does here is, when I worked it out, because I sat down and worked this out harmonically, is incredible. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah, Julie, Charismatic Voice is great, and I watched some of her stuff. She is so thorough with her stuff. And Julia is Australian. Is she Australian as well? Thank you, Samuel. I really appreciate it. Chase is great too. So this is for the music nerds, if you'll understand this. Hopefully, those who don't understand it, I hope you do, because this is a little bit theory heavy. This gorgeous melody it's absolutely beautiful. I'm playing it higher than what it is. We feel like there's a key change, but Thomas actually incorporates the key change so beautifully in that he changes it back to D minor later on, and that feels like the key change. So what I'm trying to say is, we start in D minor. He actually very easily goes into another key, which I've noted as, I believe, C minor, and then goes back into D minor. But when he goes back into D minor, that's what feels like the key change. So take a listen to it here. Let's see if I can play it well. And I really don't want to screw this up, because that will be quite bad. This is where he changes the key. Sorry, bad notes. Sorry, I stuffed up there. The point is, he repeated that. He repeated that melody, but it wasn't in the same key as he started with. So when he goes back into D minor, it feels like a key change. And that's what he's about to do here. Let's have a listen. He's introducing the orchestra, and he's now bringing the same theme up into other instruments, which really pulls on your heartstrings. This is the original key, just so you know. Take a listen. This is not the same key now. It sounds like it is, but it's not. It's done so well. Absolutely, Sandra. Here's the next theme that we spoke about. So that was theme 1. This is the second theme. repeat the theme again just to stab us in the heart. And he's doubling up with the cello. It was done so elegantly. You have a new theme with a vocalist. I'm not sure if that was Floor or not. If somebody can please let me know. I didn't do that much research. And what do you do to really just make us love it more? Repeat the theme, grab the cello, and play exactly what the vocalist is playing 2 octaves down. Double it. This cello is so important, and it makes appearances many times. And the cello is the instrument in this whole work, in my opinion. The beginning, the end, and of course in the blue as well. What have I got to say about that? I find it really amazing how Thomas in this can transition from one to the next and not make it feel like it's completely blowing us into a different direction and feeling uncomfortable. The blue versus Vista, they are very different. We can understand that. But what Thomas does usually is he so gradually introduces instruments and introduces rhythmic ideas so that they don't feel sudden. Take the blue, for instance. We know that this is completely different in character. However, there's something very, very sly Thomas does at the end of this, which gets us ready for the blue. And that is using the orchestral bass drum as a rhythmic drive at the end of this movement. I'm going to take it back so you can hear it. That gets us ready for what we're about to hear in the blue. It really just eases us in without even knowing. Let's have a listen. Okay, ready? That's the orchestral bass. Orchestral bass. Orchestral bass. So Thomas has used this bass drum as a mechanism to get us ready for what is to be one of the biggest underlying themes of this whole work, and that's the blue. This theme, the blue, as we're going to hear in a moment, is the most recurring theme throughout the whole piece of music. If you can only think of one place it comes in, you're wrong. It happens many times, and we're going to talk about it. So Thomas has set up the blue for us in 2 ways. He's set it up because the cello introduces this work as a melody, and the cello is used as the main melody of the blue. Plus, he set up the use of that orchestral bass drum for us to not feel like it's so sudden. There's that bass drum. Here we go. each beat. So we've got a question here. So this again, as I said, using the theme of the fact that he's got an instrument and taken it, the same instrument, to do a new melody, this is already giving us a feel of familiarity. He hasn't chosen a different instrument because the blue and vista are very contrasting. So we need to have some kind of familiarity, and that is the use of the cello as a melody and the bass drum, keeping a nice straightforward beat, which he actually introduced at the end of Vista to help us out. And I've got a good question here from Sound Ocean. The vocal melody and transition into the blue feels disharmonic, almost creepy. Why? It's the harmonies that are being used are not dissonant. So dissonant means playing several pitches which are close to each other. So this would be dissonant. But the chords that they're using are not dissonant. However, it feels like it is because it's moving away from the home key that it was in to this new key, which the blue is in. Billy, welcome. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for your donation. I really hope you enjoy this, by the way, Billy. This is orchestral, and I think you will. It's gorgeous. So I hope I answered your question there. Dissonance it can be beautiful. Dissonance really wasn't used in the sense of what it means musically, which is using pitches which are very close to each other in semitones and tones. So it wasn't dissonant, but it was moving away from the key. So basically, I stopped it for a reason, but I think we're just going to listen. We've got the driving force, but really what we have here is that driving force of the bass drum, and all you have for this is that melody. Those notes were not a part of the key, so it made it sound a little bit more interesting. But we also just have this pedal note, which is an E, which goes throughout, and a bass drum, which keeps the beat. Remember, this theme, the blue, is the theme which is used the most throughout this. Repeating it up an octave. Gorgeous. Now, unlike Vista, the blue does not have two contrasting themes. Vista had that and sorry, I made a mistake there, but hopefully that made sense. Vista had two contrasting themes. The blue doesn't. And the blue doesn't because Thomas brings it back so much that he needs to drill it into our head. So it's this melody going in different instruments, and he uses these instruments to build in texture. He's now moved the melody into vocals. Very good analogy, Sandra. The ocean connects everything. Great. Back to the theme, same theme, the cello. So we've drilled this theme into us, but it doesn't feel like it's being drilled because he's moved it from cello to vocals up higher, back to cello. What does he do? He just uses it and keeps building, and adding more instruments until our texture is so thick that it's very vast. And if we look at it from a subjective point of view, like Sandra said, and this is subjective, but you know what? It's something that we can say that, remember when I said that there's no room for subjectivity, but we can insert our thoughts on this and it makes sense. The ocean is so vast, and the ocean is, so what did she say? The ocean connects everything. So we have this one theme throughout the blue. This is a great connection, Sandra. This is why I want people to speak up, because you know what? I didn't make this connection. We have this one theme throughout the blue. Throughout the whole movement, we're only halfway through, moving through different instruments, but it doesn't change. And that theme appears in most of the other movements, actually, probably at least 3 of the other ones. And now we just build in texture. We'll listen to it without stopping. Building. Those seagull sounds and the ocean sounds, which we don't really hear again later on because they're not that important musically anyway. Sandra also mentioned that uplift, and that uplift was actually that beautiful part. It was in the melody, but also this is the first time Thomas actually changed the chord. Remember I said it was based on a pedal note. And it's going throughout and throughout. But he actually changed the note that he's playing, the chord. He's changed it to it's an E minor to a G. And for those who are musical know that that's the relative major. So we have a major uplift here. I guess, excuse the pun. And then... So he's actually changed the chords. So it's actually the first time we've actually changed these chords over, and that's why we felt this lift, because Thomas has kept us on this pedal note for a long, long time, and all he needed to do was change the harmony, keep the melody somewhat similar, use the same rhythmic ideas, bring the melody up a little bit, but still have those same ideas, change the chord, and it makes a huge difference because he's stuck this in our head for so long. And that's the genius of this particular movement, that you can stay on one chord for such a long time and then trap you into it that you feel a release when it's moved away from it. Which is, it was amazing. Sound Ocean asked about the bell. I think that it's just signifying. It's really just bringing the. I mean, I assume it was just a tone color effect to help us, I guess, link to the ocean of some kind. I don't see a musical significance really of it, except for the connection to the ocean, and then of course the waves and the seagulls. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I know there are a couple people really talking, but just spam it. Spam the chat. You know what? The next one, the green, let's see how that did in the poll. There wasn't much love for that, was there? Let's look at the poll. There wasn't a lot. And you know what? That's the one I disliked the most on my first listening. But you know what? It's my biggest grower. So on the community poll, that got about 22 out of 200 people. And in our poll here, we had one person vote for the green. If you are that person, please make yourself known now. It probably had something to do with the boat. You're drinking wine, Tanya? So the green was really... So yeah, whoever voted for the green, that one person, please, I hope you're still here. Please let me know who it was, because that is interesting. This, in my analysis, has been my biggest grower. The green is based on 4 chords. The green is, if we're going to look at it subjectively... Yeah, I can die happy now. You're right. I did say that. It was insane. But the more I listen to this, the more I just feel it. The green is based on 4 chords. And to look at it subjectively, I like to see it as, and again, this is not the scientific view, this is the subjective view. I like to see it as Thomas uses this 4 minutes of however long it is to build using a chord progression of 4 chords, and the chords on the main part are B flat minor, F minor, A flat major, and E flat major. Thanks, Billy. I'm glad you're still enjoying. So this is unlike pop songs. We know that pop songs are very much based on 4 chords. This, the green, is the poppiest of all of these, in my opinion, because it's based on 4 chords which are going around and around and around, not dissimilar to generic pop songs. But the way that it's used is Thomas is building and building in texture. He's adding flutes, woodwind instruments, more strings, more, until it's lush. So let's think about it from a subjective viewpoint. We start from a very small seed. And it grows from there until we have a lush forest even. This is explored through texture. Let's take a listen. This did not connect with me the first time. It's somewhat minimalistic. But when we really appreciate the true art of using a chord progression, which is, again, I'm just playing the chords. Over and over again. This chord progression goes throughout the whole song, excluding the beginning part. Listen to how he builds. This is the biggest grower for me out of all of them. And I hope it is for you too. this theme here, it's not used much. It's really used as an introduction and a coda at the end. But the biggest, as I said, is that chord progression coming in now. Bit different to Moonlight Sonata. Thomas is exploring the chord progression now. We're just running through the same chords. When I was doing an analysis for myself, I was racking my brains out. Remember I said that Thomas so very carefully uses themes and introduces us to different themes throughout, but so gradually as if the transition is flawless. This stuck out as very different to me. And the only thing that I can say, which is what he's doing, is easing us in and starting small and building the texture. The themes that he is using here are very different to the themes that he has used in the last two. So there are actually no carryovers, and the green is the only one out of all of them which doesn't use a reused theme. So I'm talking about after the blue and Vista. The rest of them reuses the themes in some way, except for the green. That never comes back. And the green doesn't use the blue or Vista's theme. Thank you, Jirabel. And the harp. This is a very ease in of the harp because Thomas uses the harp a lot later too. He's building. Using the low strings as pizzicato to get a percussive feel. No percussion instruments. I think it's a French horn. So Thomas actually, thank you. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't an oboe. Oboes, they are they're very penetrating because there's a reason why the oboe actually tunes up the orchestra at the beginning is because you can really hear it throughout. Look, there are instruments which sound like it. The cor anglais, the bassoon's also a double-reeded instrument, but it's got a very nasally tone to it, and I liken it to a duck. I really love the oboe, and it sounds a bit like a honky duck. I think that was. I think that's what you were talking about, the French horn. I could be wrong. Again, somebody correct me because I like being wrong. Billy, mate, you are incredible. You are under no obligation to watch my videos, but I really, really, really appreciate your generosity. And I really hope you learned something here because I know this is outside of your, outside of what you listen to. So I really, really hope you do. Back to college and have to leave your job. I really hope things work out for you. Don't give your money to me, Billy. If you need your money, please. Thank you. It really means a lot. So thank you. It overwhelms me each time. Thomas loves ducks. So yeah, he's again using, as we can hear already, this chord progression. No, I did it in the wrong order. My apologies. That is definitely not how it sounds. Let's press play. The thing is, he's using piano and harp. And the thing is about using the piano and harp is he's introduced the piano here for the first time, and he's also brought in a harp. And they're both using strings. Now, piano we know has a hammer to the strings, but their tone color can be somewhat synonymous with each other. So using both of them here is really a good tactic to introduce both the harp and the piano, which we will hear later on extensively in the later movements. So beautiful. Moving forward through building texture. Bass drum. This is the first time we hear percussion. He makes a big change here. Fast note values. And the chords are now half. It's moving the chords faster, the harmonic change. All based on 4 chords. Bring it back down, change the key. Okay. He's ended off in a key, actually. He's ended off in E minor. And he's ended off in E minor because Moors, the next one, is in E minor. So it's a great transition. He's ended off in one key and kept on going with that key. I think there was a lot of love for this one, and I think I know why. The Adorn pipes in these are used. They are used in Moors, but they are not used again. Why would Thomas introduce a bunch of orchestral instruments and use them for their purposes, the cello being a big one, a big theme, but introduce one instrument here and not bring it back? Please comment in here if you think you know the reason, and I will explain it later on in my opinion, but also just comment away and why you think Moors has a lot more love than something like the Green, and why a lot of people are tending to like this one quite a lot. There is a reason. We're now headed in, we're in E minor. He's left us in E minor. The Green is the most different of all of the movements, in my opinion. Even Anthropocene, which is later on, which unsettles people, this actually, Anthropocene uses themes from the Blue very heavily. The Green doesn't. The Green doesn't appear later on. If somebody can tell me, please feel free to. We are now up to Moors, yes. So let's take a listen. Please comment and tell me why you think this one is getting positive responses in some of the polls. We can freely use the harp here because we've introduced it before. It does. It uses the Adorn pipes. Good one, Landerson. Correct. He really is amazing at playing it, Page Monster, you're right. He really brings it. I'm reading the comments. Tanya made a really good point. Moores feels like there's a singer coming to take the lead. We know, so Troy's the one who's really, as Page Monster said, breathing life into these pipes. But it feels like there's a singer taking the lead. There's some vocal quality about the use of those pipes. I hope you're still here at the end, and God knows when that will be, because I'm going to return to that. And I'm returning to that for a reason later on, which will also answer the question, why has he chosen to use the Aeolian pipes here and only here? It's not just about Troy being able to breathe life into it. There is an overall grand scheme, in my opinion. This is a little bit subjective, but I feel like I can make the case. There's a grand scheme in this. Moors isn't, so let me read this. So Mara says, Moors is an upland area in England. The pipes here might be used to represent the heritage. Yeah, what a good, to recreate the sort of loneliness. And yeah, you feel that loneliness because of the vast space that's left. This instrument is so different to every other instrument. It penetrates through everything we hear. There's this beautiful melodic vocal kind of quality to it. At the same time, you hear those slides, those kind of glissanos and slides throughout. And it has such a distinct tone color or timbre. And Tanya, I think this is also why Ad Astra is so popular. Page Monster, they call you. In the part with Troy and Thomas, Affinity in the Moors. So let's take a listen to the next part. When I did my first listening on this, and there is the video on it if you want to go back and see it, the next part came on and I was going, oh, I've heard that before. Where have I heard that before? What's coming up? Who can tell me? When I press my somewhat spacebar, which is not going to make a sound, what are we about to hear? I'm doing my teachery thing where I question you and then wait for the student to put their hand up. You don't need to. What are we about to hear? You're about to hear the theme from... No, the space bar is still here. Oh no, I just muted something. I think I pressed mute. What am I doing? I ignored the teachers. We're about to hear the theme from the Blue, and there's a reason why he's thrown this in. Get ready. This is actually... beautiful high strings, chromatic, contrasting with a very low bass string instrument. chaotic brass holding those notes. That is the first time we hear this theme from the Blue. It is somewhat changed in ways, but it's dum 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 dum. Excuse my singing, which wasn't real. Tom Gunn, thank you so much for watching. Yes, I know this is actually going way longer than I thought, by the way. I really appreciate it. He's thrown this in for a reason. What I want you to remember about the theme for the Blue is the Blue has a very percussive driving quality. When we hear it the first time, we hear the bass drum on every beat and it's very steady. This time we hear it, we have the melody, but the percussion or the bass drum is a lot more syncopated. It still pushes it drives forward, but it's a lot more syncopated and unsettled. So the notes are falling on the offbeat. But we've now established the Blue is there for a reason. He hasn't just chucked it in for no reason, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. Please remember this. It's not there for no reason. It's there to develop a theme, and it's there to develop a very important theme. Billy, mate. I hope Thomas does watch these analysis videos. Billy, please just make sure you're not spending beyond your means. You're amazing. Thank you. Here is the reason why we've introduced the Blue randomly in the middle of it. To remind us of our theme, at the same time, we have now this reference point of that syncopated bass. You're about to hear that same syncopated bass. What you're also about to hear is the theme that brings us to tears at the end. The first time we hear the Ad Astra theme. This is the first time we hear it. What if I told you that the Ad Astra theme is actually loosely rhythmically based off the Blue theme? So in the Blue theme, the rhythm is the Ad Astra theme is talking about the rhythm. They're a very similar rhythm. So what we have now is the reminder. We're about to hear our reminder of the Blue that we've just heard, the syncopated bass, and a new melody, which we know in the future is the Ad Astra melody. That brings us to tears at the end. However, this is based on the Blue. And if we look at this subjectively again, water is life. Water breathes life into us. Metaphorically. But I mean, water was first. And without water, we can't live. And water makes up a lot of us. So water, the Blue, makes up a lot of these themes. You're going to see a common theme here that I'm connecting many of the remaining movements back to the Blue in some capacity. Let's hear it. The Ad Astra theme. With the bass, which was used in the Blue. How does that feel? Please leave a comment right now. Tell me whether that's the first time you realized that that was the Ad Astra theme, but I think most of you did know that already, that we've used that. However, I hope you realize that that theme is rhythmically directly from the blue. Not just that, the purpose of putting the blue in the middle after the Aeolian pipe plays that new melody is to get us used to hearing that syncopated bass drum line, which comes back here. So I'm just going to read some of these. JP's made a funny, good joke there. The waterfall one, loved it. Julie, when I first heard Ad Astra melody, it made me feel hopeful. When Floor sings it, it just makes me cry. Floor does something very special at the end there, and I want you to remember, the first time we heard that melody was on the piano, and the melody was then repeated with the Aeolian pipes over it. Please remember that. Billy never understood sheets. It is something that's just learnable, but it can be boring. Thomas' sensibility towards music and sound never ceased to amaze me. I agree. This is absolutely beautiful and absolutely gorgeous. So we've just heard. If we haven't heard this, the first time we hear this, we don't know. We just hear this supposedly new theme, but really this theme already has been built on from the blue. The blue has given us this theme. The accompaniment and the actual melody has been rhythmically from the blue. Please remember that. Now we're moving into, is it Aurora? Or is it this Quiet as Snow? I think it's Aurora, isn't it? And Aurora is interesting. We actually start off in D minor or D Dorian of some kind. If you think, I listened to this and I thought there's something about this which is similar to what we just heard. This is a very interesting one. Let's hear it. This did not come out of nowhere. There's something going on here. Imagine Thomas teaching composition. God, that would be insane. We can use the harp here because we've already been introduced to it pretty well from the green. This is new. This is new theme completely. Now we know we're about to get a lot louder, a lot faster, and a lot more thick texture. But where did he get this from? It's okay, Billy. Does this sound familiar? Now this one didn't get much love, I think, with the polls. Let's check it out. Aurora, right down there. Hopefully I can change your mind on this a little bit. It's not one of my favorites, I gotta say. Same thing here. We didn't really get much. We got four people vote for it. If you're that person, can you please write it in the comments now so I know, and hopefully you'll be able to see a connection. What we just heard was the before that was the theme. Thanks. So Io, so I know you're sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So you voted for it. And that's fine. It is interesting. Let me make a connection. What we've just heard before this was Moors, and we were introduced to We know that that plays a very big part later on. But what we have here is something seemingly so different. And it did start off with something very different in the harp. And there was this choir too. But now we have this almost dance-like vibe going on. But at the same time, there isn't too much of a melody and it's very harmonic. Let me see. I don't want to... We're going to play it to the end, then I'm going to take it back, and I don't want to destroy it. I'm going to be playing something over it. So let's play it to the end first. It has a very different feeling because of those very quick ascending melody, those triplets, it's very, very quick. What I do want to make a very big point on overall, there is not much going on here in terms of different time signatures. So we know that symphonic metal has varying time signatures, and Thomas is no kind of stranger to changing time signatures around. He doesn't. Most of these pieces of music are very easily in 4. So far they have been. And there isn't much change as well. There is in one of them, but we'll talk about it when it comes to that. And this feeling of 4 is felt because I think everything is united within Earth, everything is united quite well. So having uncertainty in timings is not going to work very well here. There is one part that there is, though. It does have a very Aurora Borealis. I've never seen that. I've never been up to up so far north, and I haven't seen Aurora Australis either. That does happen in Australia sometimes, down in Victoria and Tasmania, and probably South America as well, in Argentina, I would assume. But I haven't seen that too, so I'd love to see that. I don't want to kill this, but I'm going to play something on the piano over it. But it's going to be a quick version. Ready? I don't know if you heard it. If you didn't hear it, I'll play it again and I'll turn down the music. Let me know if anybody heard it and what you think it was. Thank you. Correct. Io. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Got it correct. He is directly using the same chords for Ad Astra, but he's speeding it up double time. So I had to play it a lot faster. And I actually made that connection a while back when listening to it, but I was struggling to fit it because in my head I was playing it as the regular tempo, but it's really double. So ba da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun dun dun. So I picked it up because the chords, there was something so familiar about the use of the chords. The chords used throughout most of this and in Ad Astra are very simple. So using that here in the same key, it's in exactly the same key. It made me think this has got to be Ad Astra, but the missing piece of it was how slow I was just going at the same tempo as usual Ad Astra, and it didn't fit until I sped it up and it worked. This is how Thomas incorporates themes, which we're going to hear later on, which bring us to tears, and themes which can help us, I guess, make connections between all of them. Correct, Page Monster. He is absolutely crafty because they're hidden, and they're hidden so well that by the time Floor sings that melody, we're all crying. We're crying for many reasons because we've just heard that beautiful Carl Sagan quote. But we're crying for so many reasons, and I'm going to bring you into it later on and give you, yes, massive Easter egg. Massive Easter egg laying a rooster. And here we do have that aurora. It feels like Aurora Borealis. The harp is so delicate. It feels like we're falling off in viewers. I hope I'm not boring you. But I do have 666 playbacks. Does that mean something? Does this start off in D minor? Yes, it does. So D minor apparently is Thomas's favorite key. Vista starts off in D minor. Who picked Quiet as the Snow as their favorite? This is so beautiful. It's just these piano chords. And remember, we were first introduced to the piano in the green, so we weren't using piano before. So since introducing it, he's used it again and again, and using the harp is beautiful here. And I remember listening to this the first time, and I thought this gorgeous call and response between the harp playing these high notes and then this glockenspiel response. This is one of my favorite. D minor is the saddest of all keys, but arguably E flat minor is sadder, but D minor is very sad. The whispers. Call and response. I hope you're listening to this with headphones. Just one to the next. Those whispers are such a mind-blowing addition. Like, who thinks of that? That you think vocals, but they're vocals and they give this gorgeous tone color. And the way that they're using the panning from left to right, it does feel like crystals. You're right, Lanison. And the use of the glockenspiel and the harp in those high notes feel like ice, or they feel like they give this really kind of cold feel. Remember, we're in the same key as Vista. This is seemingly new, isn't it? We're just working through a chord progression here in D minor. And many of these songs, as I said, are based on a chord progression. Major chord there. That was a different one. What are we about to hear? I'm doing my teachery thing again. Quickly, someone put it in. What are we about to hear? Sorry, I'm doing my teachery thing. I mean, I'll tell you the answer anyway. If I don't get it, it's not a problem. I just want to see who's picked up on it. This is the same key as the first one that we heard. What's Thomas doing to rip our souls, to rip our hearts, and to completely almost shatter all that's left of us emotionally? Vista. I remember about a month ago I was driving and I had this on. And I was literally in tears listening to this behind the wheel. The way that he reprises the theme from Vista is absolutely astonishingly beautiful. It's done through the use of tone colors. It's done scientifically because he's using the different sounding instruments, combining them in a way which works together really well, and taking a melody which we were familiar with from the beginning, from the cello, and putting them into the high strings. Unchanged harmonically. Everything is the same in terms of the chords here. This is the last time we hear that theme from Vista. Remember I said that there were two themes in Vista? There's this one, and then there was the second one. The second one does come back. But I believe we have Anthropocene next. And this one didn't get much love either. This one was confusing. This one was what's going on in this. It starts with a string chords, strings playing tremolo in their chords. I can tell you now that this is harmony reminiscent of the Blue. It's actually harmony from the Blue. So it's using those themes. Then we do have a melody. Let's take a listen to it. I want to see if you can pick up the melody from the Blue in this. So think the high woodwind instruments. This is the end of Quiet as the Snow, which was the same as Vista. So it's like Vista going into the Blue again. This is actually what he's done. He's taken this last choir part and he's actually gone into something which is the same as the Blue harmonically. Think the melody for the Blue. Lord of the Keys. I'm happy to talk about that, Tanya. Melody from the Blue. Sorry, it's a violin. The Blue. Okay. Please let me know that you heard how that was thematically the blue. This is huge, and we have some great comments here, and please comment, because I love seeing this. Tanya wants to talk about the Hurrian hymn to Nicole. I tried to look it up. I wasn't as familiar with it, and so I'll let you guys take the lead on that. I know it's a little bit disappointing because I was trying to understand it, and I wasn't understanding it so much, and I do have pitfalls, and that's why I want to make sure I'm learning from you as much as possible. So if anyone has information, I'm happy to hear it. Julie, I like this one because it sets me up from having an even stronger emotional response to Ad Astra. The blue on high. And this, Mara, you've hit it right on the head here. Anthropocene represents very well the chaos humans brought to this beautiful planet. Who was the one who said they had problems with Anthropocene and being unsettling? Was it you, JPs? No, I'm not sure if it was. Was it Lannison? Sorry, I can't remember. It was very far away. It was long ago. So if you can remind me. This. Remember when I was talking about timing and time signatures? And within this beautiful, extensive piece of music, Thomas maintains a very easy 4 time signature here. Lannison, it wasn't you. Oh, thanks, Billy. I hope you're enjoying it. Sound Ocean, it was you. Thank you. It's mostly the idea that it's the oldest ever found piece of annotated music and how brilliant is embedded into this particular piece. Yeah. So hopefully, I tried to listen to it and I wasn't sure. I really am sorry to disappoint on that, Tanya. I'm gonna have to look at it again. So. Now that we're listening to it, I have a guess that it makes me uncomfortable with the intro in this part. The strings in the background kind of sound like a swarm of wasps. That's the tremolo effect that we have there. This is the blue, and it's still settling from a time signature perspective. I stopped it where I stopped it because we know now that we're about to bring in the woodwind instruments. We're about to bring in percussion. And is it the bows? I'm trying to think. Was it is the percussive sound potentially the back of the bows hit on the violin strings? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think. Oh, the plucky bit after the string. Yeah. Okay, it's the plucky bit after the strings. Yep. This is where we get unsettled because we're about to listen to a riff or an ostinato. An ostinato is a repeated pattern. We're about to listen to an ostinato which has no definite beat 1. It's actually very hard to feel a pulse in this. You can count, but it's very hard to feel a pulse. And if we're going to look at this subjectively, we're on the Anthropocene, and we know that the Anthropocene is a theoretical geological stage that we're going through at the moment, where humans have had main advancements and humans are, I guess, the leaders of the world, if that makes sense. So what we have here subjectively now are the themes from the blue in stark contrast to what Tanya has said, and we know that we've integrated the Hurrian hymn into this, which is the earliest form, as said, the earliest piece of manuscript found. So it's no mistake that we've integrated humans in a very small way. And this is in direct conflict with the blue. The blue is water. The blue unites everything and has united the world for a long time. Now the humans are here. Now the humans are destroying it. And what we hear is this ostinato, which is representative of the humans. And then we hear the melody played on the cello, the direct melody from the blue. And that melody is timing-wise in conflict with the ostinato, which is meant to represent the humans. They're actually sound like there are 2 different time signatures going on at the same time. It's unsettling. Count if you want. you will not be able to find a beat 1. The unsettling effect could also be musical impression. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, yeah, Sound Ocean, you're right. So what we're listening to here is humans versus the earth. Earth represented by ocean and the blue. We're going to hear that melody very strongly in the cello, contrasting to an ostinato, which is going throughout the repeated rhythmic pattern where we cannot feel beat 1. I dare you to try to count, and I dare you to try to find a beat here, which is settling, because we have probably 2 time signatures. I tried as I might. Time signatures are not my forte. Get ready for not being able to count properly. Hi, Ralph. Here we go. Cello's back. Direct conflict. And that's the last time we hear the blue, actually. And let's not forget that the theme for Ad Astra is based on the theme from the blue rhythmically. So we have this commonality between all these pieces, except for the green. The green actually doesn't involve anything from the blue. But starting from the blue, we have the blue influencing pretty much every piece, possibly not quite as Snow. That's influenced by Vista, but everything else, the blue has influenced thematically, rhythmically, harmonically, and melodically. So, Sound Ocean, counting the quick rhythm. I couldn't, because what was happening was the accents falling on the cello with those held notes were not matching up to where the accents were in that ostinato. And they're in direct conflict. And I actually tried to look to find the score for this, because there should be an orchestral score for purchase. Couldn't find it, because I would have bought it. Even if it was $200, I would have bought it, because all I wanted to see was the scoring for that time signature. And that's why it's unsettling. So remember I said that Vista had 2 themes. The first theme, which we know was played by that cello. The second theme, which was by the vocalist. I'm going to quickly go back and listen to that. So this is the theme, the second theme from Vista. And this is such a beautiful theme. And remember when we first heard it? We're hearing it again, and he brings it back. He brings it back here in Vista with the cello playing with it. Take a listen. It's absolutely beautiful. It's down underneath. And remember, these bass drums were set up for the blue. I'm holding off Ad Astra. We know. So this is this theme. Let me find my chords. I'm done this by ear. We know that this is not the Ad Astra melody that we heard from the Moors. But this is how Ad Astra opens up. Sound familiar? That is our last hint at Vista. But how beautifully does this move into the following? So we can see where we've gotten this from. We can see the transition. I will do only one stop in this. I won't talk over it. And I'm going to stop it after our Carl Sagan quote, just to explain what's going on, and then we're going to hear the ending. If anybody's got something to say, speak now. But please make sure you please leave things in the comments. Leave whatever you're feeling. Write whatever you're feeling. Absorb it. This is an oboe. Thank you, Sandra. Sorry, I said I wouldn't stop it. I'm so sorry. I just need to let you know what's going on. Firstly, the cello is back. The cello, what we heard from the beginning, what breathed life into this work. The cello is what we hear first, playing that beautiful Ad Astra theme. Cello.
Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization. Every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. That's here. That's home. That's us.
I'm sorry. I need to explain something. Just wipe your tears. We're changing keys. We beautiful Ad Astra theme played by the cello. We're about to hear Floor's vocals. Remember I said there's a reason why they brought in the Aeolian pipes back in the fourth movement, played by Troy beautifully. And the reason is that it has a very distinct tone color. The first time we hear this theme is by the piano, and the second time it's doubled by these pipes. This distinct tone color is used specifically to help us remember this theme. When Floor is singing this theme, she uses a vocal tone to very much mimic the nasally quality of this Aeolian pipes instrument that we heard before. She's purposely using a vocal tone quality to help remind us of the sound that we heard. She's using the slides. This is not normal Floor voice. It's very much there distinctly to mimic the pipe. Everything that we've heard, the use of speeding up, the use of the percussive nature of the blue, this beautiful theme, it's all here, and we know that it doesn't resolve at the end. And we'll talk about that later. That's here. That's home.
That's here. That's home. That's us.
as I said, it's no accident that the only time we hear such a unique instrument in the Moors is to introduce us to this theme. It's the only time. And when we hear Flor singing it, this is meant to take us back. It's meant to take us back to this theme. It's meant to represent the tone color or timbre. These words are used synonymously of the Aeolian pipes that we heard. And it was so beautifully put. Just really the quality, the vocal tone quality to mimic what we had heard before. And we do only have humans in a very small capacity introduced in this through Anthropocene, and of course Flor. Flor represents humans here. That melody represents humans. The reason why it's not done by the Aeolian pipe is because we need this vocal melody, and we know that she represents humans because she resolves and she stops on the tonic key and the melody towards the end, but the instrumental keeps going, and the instrumental does not resolve as we would expect it on an A minor chord. It doesn't resolve at all, and it keeps going and going and going until it just stops, because there is no perfect resolution. Humans will die. Humans will be gone well before the earth is gone. We can't see a resolution, therefore we can't write a resolution. Thomas cannot end this on a tonic chord, on a tonic minor chord or a major chord, because that is a feeling of home. That's a feeling of satisfaction, but we don't know. We don't know how the world's going to end, so we can't convey that musically, and he conveys it musically so perfectly by keeping it open-ended. It is just this. Hearing it for the first time was great, but hearing it for the second time was better, and hearing it for the third time was even better, and hearing it each time, it doesn't get old. And what I've hoped to do within this is to show you the small little bits of composition or compositional genius that Thomas has included here to give us hints from the past movements that we have heard, to unite this as one, using the blue mainly as a major uniting factor between this through textural build. So building texture through the use of tone colors. So the piano introduced and continuing to use the piano. And we spoke about the use of tone colors with the pipes and Flor. How these themes are consistently used. Billy, thank you. It always, I just see it from the corner of my eye. I haven't even looked at the comments yet because I'm about to go back and read them. And what I'm hoping to have opened you up to here is the intricacies of some of these pieces, which you have individual pieces which make up the whole work, which you may have overlooked. And some of these would include the green, Anthropocene. And I wanted to do a poll actually to see, for those who have a new appreciation, is there one that you have, one of these which you didn't appreciate as much, which you now really appreciate after this presentation? Because as I said, I prepared this. I've made some notes, but I wasn't really going on script, because the great thing about doing this is when I hear something, it'll trigger it in my mind to talk about it. But I do want to always preface everything that I say. So there was preparation. This wasn't a reaction. This wasn't me just sitting here and listening to it. Everything was prepared. I had to practice playing that stuff. That was all done by ear. And it was easily done by ear because these themes are very simple. The melodic and harmonic themes are so basic at their core, and how Thomas can take something so basic and expand it to something so beautiful. We take the green using a chord progression of 4 chords, which you find in pretty much every generic pop music piece of music and just expand it to something lush. There's just so much going on in this, and I'm hoping that when you listen to this again tomorrow or whenever you do, you can listen to it with this newfound appreciation, because that was my goal here, because I was challenged. I was challenged with this because I needed to find meaning, and there were 2 or 3 which stuck out, which were difficult for me, and that was the green, that was Aurora, those 2 mainly, which I found very hard to make meaning, but I managed to connect them. And you know what? You might even find something that I haven't. And please always comment on my videos. I actually see every single comment. I know sometimes I don't reply, but the way that YouTube works is that when a comment comes up, it comes up as a new comment regardless of how old the video is. So I do see it. Sometimes I don't reply, but I always see every single comment, and I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to look at the comments here and go back to Billy. Thank you so much, Billy. I really, really do appreciate it. I just want to make sure that you're not spending beyond your means. Yes, this, I don't expect money. I don't expect anything. I just want to hang out and share my love for music. And yes, it is 2:15 a.m., but it's a Saturday or Sunday morning for me. In all honesty, it's fine because I can sleep in. There were so many messages which I've missed, so I'm just going back. Sound Ocean, Page Monster, where's the Kleenex? I forgot to bring them. Looking out the window right into nature while listening to the clouds 1 hour before sunset. Yes. And that was my sunset was about 7 hours ago. Moving perfectly, matching the speed. And open-ended as a future, correct. JP's other, it just really is. And that's why I was saying that ending it open-endingly, we don't know what the future is, because we're going to be dead. We're nothing. We're humans, and we're just a speck. Like I was saying, we're on a like Earth is just like that Carl Sagan quote really summed it up. And that quote makes me tear up. And the reason why that quote makes you tear up are 2 reasons. It's a gorgeous, beautiful quote which really highlights the truth of what's happening and the earth and our relationship to it, and the fact that it's way more powerful than us, number 1. And number 2, the cello. The role of the cello in this is, it starts with the cello, we hear it in the blue, and the first time we hear that theme in Ad Astra, we've heard it before, is in the cello, reminding us, using instrumentation to remind us about the beginning, but to bring in this theme we've heard before in the Moors for the first time again while we hear that quote. It's way, way, way more emotional the second time you hear it. It's way more emotional the second time you hear it because you know what's coming up. Someone just donated again. Billy, mate. Oh, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. I wasn't going to do more. I don't think I can do more reactions. I can't. I was going to do Ori. Tanya requested, but I'll come back to it. But please, Billy, please stop giving me money. You are amazing. You are incredible. Please. I'm especially if you're out of a job and you're going back to uni, please. Durabel, you're amazing. Thank you. I'm still going through all of the comments. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really do. Have you seen anything from I haven't seen the Lifetime Adventure bait. I haven't seen that one or heard anything. So I would like to take a look at that because I know that's Thomas's brainchild. Mara, you have achieved all you intended to. Thank you for that. You're so welcome. And thank you for being here. FV6623, I haven't seen you post, so thank you for commenting. You put a lot of time, work, and talent into the Nestle, and I found one thing. Thank you so much. I really am happy that you got something out of his. Thomas is, yeah, absolutely. He's an amazing composer. I would love to. I don't know if I can talk to Thomas. I'll be too starstruck. Thanks, Ralph. If you want to look back on it, this will be back. Thank you. Greetings from France. Good. Yeah. Gills. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Sound Ocean. Is there any way that you can support? Oh, can't donate here. Explaining the science and music. I actually haven't set up a PayPal. That's really, really nice of you. I might do that. Please don't worry. And I can tell that is your intention. It is really not a problem. There is this. YouTube has now given has the super thanks feature as well, where you can just donate on random videos. I never expect that, but that highlights a comment. But again, it's really not expected. I haven't set up a PayPal, so please don't worry. I'm just blown away by how generous, the generosity of you guys, not just with money. Money is one thing, that's over the top, but your time. To think that there are people, and I've said this before, all over the world, us coming together for one common purpose. Yeah, thank you, Jude. Cello is my favorite classical instrument. Mara, cello is my favorite instrument. And even though I'm a piano player, cello is just, I can't. Thank you so much, Durabel. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Billy, I don't like money anyway. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to take it, but no, keep it, please. Nick, thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I can't explain how humbled I am and that it's super unnecessary, but thank you, Nick. Thank you. It is a lot, and it is a lot for you guys as well. And this time, and COVID, I'm so lucky. I'm actually not out of a job. In Sydney, we've had the harshest lockdowns, and so many people have lost work. I'm really lucky because I'm a teacher that I'm not out of a job, and I haven't struggled financially. And there are so many people who have. So please, if you're donating, I'm hoping you're only donating because it is within your capabilities. Even because there's I would never expect ever. Being starstruck, Thomas mentioned that baffled his fans felt when he met Dawkins and felt the same way. Yeah, the first time that I heard the greatest show on earth and Dawkins came up, somebody commented, actually it's on my reaction, I'm going to put a reaction in inverted commas because my problems with the word reaction. If you haven't seen, it was way earlier on my channel, so things were different. I have changed a lot. I've changed the way I present things. Obviously I'm in a different place, and I've changed the pacing of my videos because they were a bit too slow. And these are things I learn through analytics, through watching others, and through making sure that I fix things up and take feedback. But somebody did post, I remember Richard Dawkins came on, his quote on The Greatest Show on Earth, and I freaked out. I'm like, Dawkins! And someone wrote, did you just was that a dorkgasm? If you want to see that, I've pinned that comment on The Greatest Show on Earth video. Oh, don't worry, the money. Thank you, Sound Ocean. I rarely ever want to support anyone financially simply because I often can't. No, if you can't, if it's not within your means, I would really just say, because I'm not well off, but at the same time, I'm not struggling. And I do this for the love of music, and I do this for the love of hanging out with people. And if there's money, there's money. Obviously, all this stuff costs money, and I'm still at a deficit, but it's not a problem because it's really, I like buying things. Like I like buying equipment. I've got microphones. I've got the keyboard. I've got the cello. I've got my other keyboard in the other room now. This is a green screen behind me. The computer, I'm on a MacBook Pro, but obviously, but I'm buying these and paying for them, not with the intent of making the money back, because you know what? There's not much money being made using other people's copyrighted material. Thank you. Tanya, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Nick. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you. And thank you for your donation. It's been nice hanging out with you, everyone, Saturday morning. For those of you who were on Saturday morning, I am now on Sunday morning at 2:22 a.m. But you know what? I'm not tired. I'm pumped. I really am. 2 out of 2 a credit card for the super chat donations. I sadly don't have one. Honestly, Sound Ocean, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Please. No, not at all. Better off spending a few quid on education. You're welcome, rather than on more chocolate. Yeah, but there's a problem that I'm going to take that money and spend it on chocolate myself. I see only the last 15 minutes, but thank you for the live stream. You're so welcome, Ralph. I probably should go to bed, to be honest. Trying to figure out how Super Chat works, because I like to at least buy you a beer. I'm actually not really a drinker, and that's really sweet of you. I mean, if you want to, I think you just got to click the $, but it makes you, I haven't done it, so it makes you put things in and Google Pay, and really it is a bit of a pain sometimes, so I really don't worry. I actually don't really drink much, and Aussies are meant to really like beer, so I don't know if I'm deficient in some kind of Australian Tanya. Thank you, you figured it out. Thank you, Tanya. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if I missed some kind of Aussie gene where I don't like beer. But yes, but that would be enough to get me a beer. If pubs were open, but we're still Sydney lockdown, we're meant to actually open up when we're 70% double vaxxed, which is probably in about 12 days. So we'll see what happens. Hell, the record companies get way more money out of this thing. Yeah, CJPs, that is my problem. That the record companies are monopolizing these artists, which are not getting much, because yes, it's the record labels they produce. I get it, but they really do sometimes rot these artists, and it sucks so much. Yeah, absolutely won't be able to sleep. I had such a good time. And this is always a good time, just hanging out and seeing people and their views. And you know what? I've learned things. Who was the one who said, was it? I forgot. Someone said about the something about the blue and the ocean being everywhere and pretty much connecting all of the earth. And once again, I said there's little room for subjectivity, but that's the kind of subjectivity we can speculate. And that's why I said at the beginning that subjectivity, when it comes to music, is just speculation. Unless Thomas, the composer, comes out and says, yes, this was my intention. So the subjectivity of the earth, the subjectivity of the humans interacting with the blue and the ocean with irregular time signatures because they're clashing. All subjective, but we can speculate based on the science of music. I love you, Bomberman. I love your reactions to Dimash and your analysis. Can you please react to Yeah. Stranger, I did Stranger. Now, Dimash is something, and I only continue to do the ones that I really like. Dimash is something, he's an amazing vocalist. For those who haven't seen him, check him out. I did do Stranger. I've actually got Stranger recorded, but it's been blocked, and I'm waiting for it to be unblocked. I'm actually in a dispute with whoever the copyright owner is, and I'm now at risk of a copyright strike. That would have been released probably about 4 weeks ago, but I'm actually at risk of a copyright strike at the moment. But I don't think it should be blocked. It doesn't bother me if they do a content ID claim. I'm not looking to make money from it. I'm just looking to give my views and opinions. So we'll see what happens with that. But yes, Bon, I have actually listened to Stranger, and Dimash hits this note, a C2, which is the lowest note of a cello. Coffee. You know what, Tanya? I don't drink coffee. I am the most boring person. This is all I drink. And it's not for health reasons. It's not for health reasons because I'm not a healthy person. I eat chocolate. It's just that I think I had a negative experience with Coca-Cola when I was about 3 years old, that I didn't realize that it was going to be fizzy, and I drank it and it burnt my tongue, and I've never really touched a drink which wasn't water since. So that's why I'm not really a big drinker alcohol-wise. I might have some here and there, but not very often. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. If I ever drink juice, it's a hot day. It's not for health reasons. It's for just personal preference because I am a chocoholic. Absolute chocoholic. I'm just looking. Yeah, I would like, so Ori, so Tanya recommended I take a look at Ori. Is it Ori or Auri? Which is also Thomas's, and I absolutely will. Nightwish, look, I can't. People have subscribed to me for various reasons. People have subscribed to me, like Bon Bon has said, they've subscribed to me for Dimash, to see Dimash. Some people, NF, I do NF every fortnight, and that is fine that you guys don't like that. It's not a problem. NF is very different. I'm not usually a rap fan, and I do that for analysis purposes. I've got a lot of people following that, and I like actually learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from that. Nightwish, in particular, this album is my favorite thing from starting my channel. The greatest gift that I have gotten, no joke. I'm sorry, it's Dimash is great. NF is great. Nightwish is great in general. Ginger is great. Everything I've done, they are great artists. But the greatest gift I have gotten from this channel is this album. No joke. I am so passionate about this album. And I know that may not reflect, because so many people do reactions and they react, they get their subscribers, they get the comments, they get the likes, and they're now stuck on a wheel of doing Nightwish or NF or Ginger or whatever. They're stuck on a wheel of Dimash, whatever. They're stuck on a wheel. And they listen to the song once, and that's it. And I'm not going to lie, some of the songs that I've done here in my channel, I haven't gone back and listened to extensively. But this album, I have listened to over and over and over and over again. And I'll continue to listen to over and over again. Because there's something, and I've heard other Nightwish songs, but I haven't heard some of the other ones. Yours is an Empty Hope. I've done that. Haven't released it yet, but that's coming up, so please stay tuned. That was amazing. I was somewhat confused about the vocal growls, but you can comment on that when it comes out. But this is another world. This is something. This is something else. Let me just see. All right. So if you don't want a donation, come up with something else to thank you. No, Sound Ocean, your thank you is you being here, because I like it. There's also Ave Maria. Solo by Floor, yes. Oh, that is a very good idea, Andrel. That Floor did Ave Maria and Dimash. It's very interesting because, Floor and Dimash have very, 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 very strong fans. And I've got to be careful in opinions, because if you give anything that's perceived as a negative opinion, you are getting disliked and you're chastised. And a lot of reaction channels give positive reviews, and they probably actually mean it, but they give the positive reviews because they know that people come to watch reactions to fulfill their confirmation bias. And sometimes, everything that I release, I'm always honest. If I say I like it, I like it. If I say I don't like it, I don't like it. But I choose not to release the ones I don't like or are indifferent about. It's usually an indifference. And there has been actually times, even recently, that I have gone into film a reaction and I was so indifferent to it, even though there was a huge hype about it. It wasn't worth me releasing because I did not have anything constructive to say or anything of value. And I try to add as much value as I can, but sometimes I fall short of that and go, am I just ripping off someone's copyrighted work? And I need to be careful about that, because the last thing I want to do is do that and give value with everything I do. Page Monster, Aussies don't like beer. They gave the world Foster's. See, I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't understand that as much. So Ori is an absolute must. Tika, I'm sorry you're late. It's very much ending. You missed out, but you should be able to catch the whole thing. I do appreciate everything that you do, though, because you do watch a lot of my videos. I'm not sure if it's shown up, but I did do, for those of you who saw it, I did a fun accompaniment to 50 Cent's In the Club, and I hope that I somewhat improved the gangster rap. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. feel free to share it, because I'm trying to diversify my content, and I kind of don't think it's fair that I've just been talking at you and not playing. And even though I'm not the greatest musician, I do like doing listening and analysis. I do like to diversify things and change things up. So check that out. That was released yesterday. Unfortunately, it got lost in the algorithm and hasn't done well view-wise. So it's 2.5 minutes. You might like it, you may not. It's up to you. If you like it, give it a like, chuck a comment down there so it can be picked up by the algorithm. That's me really trying to push it. But yeah. Yeah, Bon, it's okay that happened. I'm losing all the messages. Yeah, Bon, I did blur the video for the Stranger reaction by Dimash. Still a problem. Not a fan of Plain Water. I'm a fan of Plain Water. Page Monster. Nightwish is special. I'm really behind on the comments. Most of us are here to learn, not to hear the music. Thank you. I really do appreciate this. It is. I know that Nightwish, this album actually was quite polarizing, because some of the fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I see it, some of the fans thought, oh no, this is not traditional Nightwish. These songs were pop song length on the most part. Music and Endlessness were both over 7 minutes, but then you really had between 4 and 5 minutes, and then Tribal, which was just all, by the end of the Skeleton Dance, you realize that it's only a 3-minute song. But I feel like that, correct me if I'm wrong, that this was very polarizing for a lot of fans. And as a non-long-time Nightwish fan, because I know a lot of you have been for a long time, I had heard somewhat when I was younger Nightwish, but I kind of like tuned out to it when Taria was there. But really picked it up when I listened to Ghost Love Score, the live version with Floor. As somebody who hasn't been a fan for as long, I received this album really well. Maybe that's the reason why, but I'm always looking at music as objectively as I can. Tika, it's okay, you overslept. Nightwish is still not really getting through to me. I'm starting to worry I may be somehow emotionally broken. Durabel, if you haven't heard this orchestral work before, it's difficult with me stopping it a lot. It's an orchestral work. It's not Nightwish. The way that I see it is this is not Nightwish. This is Thomas. And yes, Nightwish is Thomas, but Nightwish has Floor, or the main vocalist, which really makes a very big difference. Your front person makes a very big difference. And while the composer is composing, the front person is going to do things which changes things up. Of course, then you have the instrumentalists to a lesser extent, which make up the band. This is not Nightwish, so it's orchestral in its own right. So I wouldn't put this down to Nightwish not connecting with you if you didn't connect with this. It's very difficult to kind of connect with orchestral music if you're used to not orchestral music. But I encourage you, if you want to try and listen to it again and maybe look back at this stream and pause it when I'm talking about some of the aspects. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would have to say. Julie's been a Nightwish fan for 20 years, and this is one of my favorite. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I should probably get... I'm not even tired. But it's been 2.5 hours. I really, really appreciate everyone who's been here, everyone who will possibly watch this again. Oh, Durabel, this is the best work for me, but still not quite getting it. I guess I'm just too much of a rock person. Not much of too much. Well, that's the thing, like, Nightwish is not rock in the same way as Måneskin, for example. You're welcome, Billy. Nightwish is not rock in the same way as Måneskin. Like, Måneskin is very much, like hard rock at the same time. They're glam rock. They're not Kiss, but they're 21st century kind of glam rock. Yeah, this is symphonic metal. I think I need to listen to Endless Forms, More Beautiful, Most Beautiful as well. That's the album, isn't it? Because that's what I haven't heard the album, but Greatest Show on Earth is on that, isn't it? Yeah, so for those of you who haven't heard Måneskin, check them out. They're actually pretty cool. I am a big Eurovision fan, so I absolutely loved their entry, and it was my second favorite after Ukraine's. And the fact that they won was absolutely incredible, and they kind of have taken the world by storm as a result, and a couple of their songs were on TikTok, so that really helped them. Yeah. Before I go, does anyone have any questions? Because I like dragging on and talking, and the fact that there's still 32 of you mean that you're having fun watching me talking at 2:38 a.m. when I really should be sleeping, but clearly I have a general inability to do that right now. I am a bit on a high from this because I really do enjoy talking to you guys. I think but if there's any suggestions, always pop suggestions in comments about what you would like to see from me. I am trying to diversify my content, and yes, I'll still be doing reactions, but as a warning, I'm trying my best to move away from reactions because of what I've learnt to find reactions stand for. I just hit 35,000 subscribers today, and that's not a proud moment for me because I could have probably been at nearly 100,000 subscribers if I kept on doing React Debate. And I've purposely not done that because I've seen how quick reaction channels grow. And it's scary. And it's scary to think that people who are pulling faces or making comments or commentary about an artist which people really like, it's scary that those people are gaining more subscribers than incredibly talented no-name musicians. At the same time, that's 35,000 as a number. But that's not 35,000 who were there for me. And the fact that 31 of you, which is, 30 of you now, which is 0.1%, or maybe my percentage is really bad, is still here while I'm talking, babbling on, not about Nightwish. The fact that you're here shows me that I've got at least 30 people who are here because they enjoy what I've been giving, and that's what I care about. Because for a while, I actually lost, and I still continue to lose subscribers every time I put out videos. And most of those are from NF videos, but it doesn't bother me. Because the way that I see it is subscribers are nothing, because when I lose subscribers, that's a win for me. Because I see it as, this is going to sound really cruel, but it's not. It's not meant to be. I see it as taking out the trash in the sense that they don't want to be there. They don't have to be there, and they shouldn't be there. Why should I be clogging up their feed with stuff that they're not going to watch? And that's totally fine. This is why I want to move away fully from reactions, because when you create reactions, you create different factions of people. And the biggest ones are, in this one, NF, because I said I'm doing the NF journey and many of my subscribers are there for here. Nightwish is a very big one. Then there have been other ones like Ginger and so on and so forth who have clicked subscribe, not for me, but for Ginger and or whatever other artist. And they want me to do those. Dimash is a really big one. And I'll continue to do them if I like them or if I really, really see value. But the more that I do that, the more I'm caught on this wheel. So I'm hoping that the people who like what I do stay, and I'll try my best to kind of move into something, still do reactions, analyses, and things that people enjoy. But yeah, actually, there's some good comments. So anything you recommend, you let me know. I'm always listening to you. Great to hear analysis of your favorite albums. Yeah. I'll see what I've got. As I said, I really like Master of Puppets. Was one of my favorite albums by Metallica. But I can tell you now that after listening to this is either up there or number one. No joke. Someone mentioned like reactors Chase, yeah, and Julia. It's okay to keep reacting because it's about what you want. Sorry, I'm just listening to Sound Ocean. Not that what others are misusing for, yeah. Reactionalities are not Reactivate. Yeah, as I said, I can do so many Reactivate and hit 100,000 subscribers, but what are they there for? I want people there for a certain reason, not yeah. So go and check out my video that I did, a couple like a day and a half ago, which was me improving gangster rap. Not a big fan of gangster rap, so I thought I'd do a little bit of improvement on it. Good night, Aya. Thank you so much. I'm just saying slow and steady. You're right, Tika. I do not want to grow fast, and I've grown too fast. I only started this channel last April, so a year and a half ago, and I grew way too fast. And growing too fast is scary because you're stuck going, wait a second, what do my subscribers want from me? And that's why I've cut the Reactivate considerably. And every time I do a Reactivate, I basically sit there in front of the camera and say, do not subscribe. This is Reactivate. And you know what? I look and end up getting 200 subscribers from just that in a period of a few days. So they don't really listen. But it's up to them. I'm not going to tell people what to subscribe from, what not. That's not up to me. There's a lot of reactors. Very few had knowledge. Yeah, you're right. That's why I want to try and move away, because I don't like the term reactions, because they are, on the most part, they do kind of like just thieve off other people's work. There are reactions and reactions. Content matters. Yeah. Master of Puppets. Yes, you're a fan of that too, Tanya. My main one is more mechanical. I'm just reading, or I want to, or Gangster Raz. Thank you, Durabel. Yeah, I really enjoyed making it. So again, if you haven't seen my latest video, please check it out. I had a lot of fun making a fun ragtime kind of accompaniment with some Hamilton in it as well. Went out on a date with Hamilton. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why it's just got Sound Ocean, the reason why a lot of people missed out on it is got lost in the algorithm, because I probably released it at a bad time, and because of the polarizing nature of my channel, that people are there for Dimash, people are there for Nightwish, people are there for NF, people are there for Ginger, people are there for this and that, is that when they see something that doesn't appeal to them, they're not going to click on it, and that's fine. So it is a lot harder. Yeah, I've got to check out. So Elizabeth is a charismatic voice. She's grown very, very quickly, but you know what? She offers so much. She offers so much in her analysis. She offers so much vocally, and she's got a great musical knowledge as well. So it's not just vocals. She does usually comment on the vocals, but a lot of what's going on in the music and the instrumentation too. No, that's okay, Sound Ocean. It's not a problem. I really don't mind people missing my stuff. I just, it was just something different, so I thought I'd put it out and change it up a little bit. Thanks, Nemandrill. Yeah, a lot of the stuff everything that I do is a first time listening, so sometimes I miss it, and when I go back in the editing process and edit the video, it really annoys me because I pick up on other stuff that I didn't hear the first time, and I'm like, damn, I should have said that. Sometimes I feel like writing comments and stuff and leaving them, but I just leave it as it is. As I said, Yours is an Empty Hope is done, and I was convinced that it was Marco doing those low vocal growls, but I was told as well that Floor was doing them, so I was really, really confused. So you'll actually see in my video that I had a lapse of confusion towards the end and really begged for some help in going, I heard that it was meant to be Floor, but I was just like, wait a second, was it or was it not? But you guys know that a lot more than me. Definitely. So Floor was always doing the growling in the chorus, and Marco was doing the main melody. Is that what you're saying? Each time? Because it definitely sounded like Marco's vocal tone color, but there were times where I felt like it was Floor. And you know what I said? I did make a comment on there this is spoiler alert because you'll see it. I made a comment going, I can't believe it's Floor, but I do believe it's Floor if you tell me. And the reason why I said I can't believe it's Floor is because of the low vocal growls. And I know, and I did say Tatiana from Ginger does it, and she does it really, really well. Tatiana is a great growler, but the vocal growls that Floor was doing in Yours Is an Empty Hope, and I believe that it's Floor, and these were live. The vocal growls that Floor was doing, and they were, again, somewhat, you really have to listen closely, again, if people are not astute to, if just the random reactor who's doing it will probably miss Floor's vocal growls because you're hearing the melody from Marco throughout, but they complement each other so well. It was amazing how well those two complement. I mentioned that in the video. These are all spoiler alerts, but I basically said something that will probably really get me in trouble with Ginger fans, in that Tatiana's vocal growls are not as low live as they are in studio versions. I'm specifically referring to Pisces. That's really it. So I was very, very skeptical about going, is that definitely Floor? Because people had told me it was, but then the vocal growls were way lower than Tatiana's live vocal growls for Pisces. So so for Pisces, it was very much, and I'm so sorry, again, like, this is not a critique, it's not a criticism. I am not criticizing anything, I'm just going based on what I see. This is no way a criticism to Tatiana, because she is amazing at what she does and talented. But comparing the vocals of Pisces live and the vocals of Pisces, that studio version or the live sessions or whatever they call it, there was actually quite certainly a layered post-production lower growl underneath. Again, not a criticism to Tatiana. So when I heard those incredibly low vocal growls at the same time as the chorus, I had to look so carefully at their mouths. And I think the clue is, in retrospect, the way that Floor's mouth is really bringing those vowels out in comparison to Marco's, who's singing high pitches and he's really using his cheeks to really get those the shape of his mouth to get those high pitches out. And in retrospect, that's something that, looking at that, going, that definitely was Floor in the editing process again. Interesting. So live sessions, this is JP's other said, based on Ginger's live session was post-produced heavily and actually made to highlight the drummer. I was super impressed by the drummer in it, actually, to be honest. My cousin is a specialist in East European low singing, even as a soprano, so I'm not surprised by Floor singing low. Yeah. It would be good to hear Floor's vocal growls independently without another melody going on, but geez, that piece of music, that chorus, the way that Marco and Floor can work so beautifully together to get a melody out complemented with this distorted growl underneath, just made for something amazing. But I'm spoiling my video. You're not even going to watch it now. That's coming up in a few weeks. So as you know, my schedule is Tuesday and Friday. Every second Tuesday is NF. For the people who watch NF, great. For those who don't, that's fine. And thank you for being here despite that. And the reason why I continue to do that is for two reasons. I've committed to that. And at the same time, I like sharing my knowledge about what I hear, and I'm still learning about rap because I don't know much about rap. You know, in uni, they don't go, let's do a course on rap. It's very much Baroque music, classical music, 20th century art music. There isn't really courses on rock, so I'm learning a lot more as a non-guitar player and a non-drummer, except I can do some basic drum beats because I have to for students at school and teach them, which is fine. I don't know much about rock, so I'm learning a lot from you guys, and you probably don't even know that, to be honest. I'm learning a lot from the comments because I'm not one of those YouTubers who don't look at the comments. As I say, I'm always looking at the comments. I've used to respond to all of them. I tend to respond to now the ones which reference something in my video or speak about something I've said, rather than, for example, if someone's watching a Dimash video and they end up saying Dimash is the best singer in the world. Yeah, he's amazing. But if their comment is Dimash is the best singer in the world, well, great, that's cool. But I don't really have much to add on that. I'm not really sure whether that person watched my video or not. Honestly, if you want to hear floor growls, listen to Revamped. Okay, spoilers. People refer to Revamped. Okay, so I'll check out Revamped. My dog's growl is epic. Oh man. Okay, what are we? So we're nearly going on 3 hours, and I think I started listening to this at 12:30, and I've been talking for an hour. I really want to keep hanging out, but I probably should go to bed. Does anyone have any questions? I'm always happy to ask questions, because I do like seeing these as hangouts, because I do want to get to know you lot, and I would like to reveal always little bits and pieces of my life, but without throwing too much, so you can still be a little bit more intrigued every time you learn something. Vimana, hello. You missed the stream but wanted to write something. I love the Human Nature album and also enjoy. You're so welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you can watch this back. It will be fine. I'm not sure if there are any copyright claims, but very, very luckily, I did not get a message on my stream saying that there was any copyright content. I believe that there will be claimed copyright content on there because we played a large portion of the music, but I haven't gotten anything coming up saying I'm in danger of losing the stream. So it shouldn't be blocked. Sometimes there always do. Have I listened to Nightwish off camera? Not new Nightwish. And I actually said this in my new video coming up, that I purposely, it hurts me at the same time as it hurts me because I want to listen to more Nightwish, but I want to, sometimes I'm worried that I'm going to listen to something which I have something so incredible to say about, that from a first time listening, that I wish I could do it on camera. So it's hurtful to me because it hinders my ability to listen to new music. So if there's a way around this, it might be good. Maybe if you can let me know the ones that I should be doing, because I'd like to go through all of their albums and listen to everything from the Taria days to the Annette days to the Floor days, which are now, for example, Poet and the Pendulum. Obviously, I did the video on it with the live with Floor singing, but I've listened to the studio version so many times that I'm actually used to Annette as the vocalist for that, and love Annette as the vocalist. So when I see Floor doing it, it's still amazing, but having the studio version original as Annette, even though I didn't know it when it came out, even though Floor's version was the first one I was exposed to, is quite interesting. I do have a preference, dare I say, for Annette's. Maybe because I've heard it so many times, and maybe because it's a studio version and it's quite perfected. Because as we know with live versions, there are always imperfections, but it's those imperfections which sometimes make it quite good too. So let me look at the questions. Do I ever sleep? Nick asks if I ever sleep. Yeah. I do. Well, look, it's 3 a.m., but you know what? It's a Saturday night. There's nothing to do in Sydney. Everything's locked down. We're not allowed to see friends, otherwise we get fined. I saw some friends today because we're allowed a picnic now with 5 people living within 5 kilometers, as long as you're double vaccinated, but you're not allowed to go to people's houses. So I saw some friends, but usually on a Saturday I'll be hanging with friends, but I'm old now, so I don't really go out and party or do any of that stuff. But yes, I sleep. I'm the opposite of nocturnal. Is that diurnal? I'm that. So I sleep during the evening, like most people. Probably get around 6 hours. Yeah. If you don't want to reactivate, would you consider live streams for albums? Yeah, I actually did that with NF, and I did that with the Dream Theater. I'm not sure who of you were there. I think Tanya, you might have been there for the Dream Theater one. I'm not sure if you were. I did that with the Dream Theater album, so I absolutely wouldn't mind that. But the last thing I would want to do is get the stream pulled down or get it blocked, because it's very common that happens. And also, doing the live reactions are never as wholesome as doing something like this, because this is prepared. I feel like there's a guarantee that I can give you some kind of quality, because I've been preparing for it and I've actually listened to it. But when I do a reaction, there's never any for a first time, there's never any guarantee that I'm going to give you something quality, and that's my only worry about doing them live. Annette is underrated. Her vocal tone is just so different. She is that Flora is that Taria Annette go between combination. See you later, Julie. Thank you so much. JP's time to toss our government. People are not very happy, but it's our state government. People are very, very angry. But you know what? The Delta strain we've been in lockdown. We've been in stage 4 hard, not allowed to see anyone, not allowed to go anywhere. Can't see my parents, can't see my sister who's pregnant and going to have her first child in November. Can't see them. Haven't been able to see them since June 26th. Hard lockdown. It is very strict. They're issuing out fines. It is the strictest lockdown in the world. But come about 2 weeks' time, we're going to be opening up at 70% double vaccinated. We're about 56% now in my state. That's New South Wales. We're 56% now, and we're going to be opening up as long as you're double vaccinated. So there are lots of people up in arms. I do understand that, but I'm double vaccinated, so I'm getting those. Actually, Tanya, Nuclear Blast is actually quite... They're touch and go. It's really hard to know with Nuclear Blast. They're very much do not like granting you. So when you have a content ID claimed on a video, you actually can dispute it. And if you win the dispute or it times out after 30 days, you can monetize your video using the copyright content. Nuclear Blast, and I do that, or I try to do that only on videos that I feel like I have actually given some kind of quality on. Nuclear Blast is 100% of the time does not grant my dispute. It also did not grant my dispute for my Ghost Love Score harmonic analysis, as you know, which was not a reaction and actually did not use the copyright content in a way that can be viewed through the lens of hearing it for the first time. So they picked up on the copyrighted content. That's fine. That's fair enough. I put in a dispute and they came back to me and said, nope, their dispute still stands. And I've now refuted that. And what that means is I've said, okay, these are the reasons why I believe I have claim on this content, because I have reinvented it. I've given an analysis. I've done something which is not just sitting there and nodding and smiling and laughing at it and making comments. So now it's up to them to come back. And if they come back and say, no, this is my content, I actually automatically get a copyright strike. If you get 3 so it's very, very risky refuting something. If I get 3 copyright strikes, your whole channel gets deleted. So it is very, very, very tricky. JP's the COVID is still spreading with all the lockdowns. We are 1,000 cases a day in our state. It's going down now because of the vaccinations, but it's still spreading. And you know what? If we didn't have the lockdowns, it'd be so much worse. We have done really well Tanya, on COVID fatalities. It's been bad now in our state, but on the most part, we came through last year's COVID pandemic situation really, really well. Happy birthday, Jeanette, for 2 weeks' time. Yeah, I don't think nuclear blast will block, but they've been known to. I've seen another reactor get blocked and copyrighted striked before. Yeah, I haven't really seen them block too much, but I have, as I just said, I've seen them do it to someone else. But they absolutely have 100% of my Nightwish / nuclear blast. I do monetize some of my videos, to be fair. I do. 100% of my Nightwish and nuclear blast stuff is not monetized. And that's okay. I respect that. But they're trying to not monetize my Ghost Love Score analysis. And I'm hoping that I can monetize that, because I feel like I've done something different to make that my own, if that makes sense. Thank you, JP Zala, for being around. You looked at the Durabel, you looked at the Dream Theater stream. I'm really, yeah. See, I put up. See, that's the thing, that a lot of the things that I put up get lost. So I did put up the stream 2 days ago, and I tried to put up the polls as well, just so I could get people's attention towards it. I put up some stuff on Instagram, but I know not all of you are on that, and I don't post all the time there. But yeah, I really have fun doing this, and there's only 26 of you left, but I really, really, really have so much fun. And I think, how many people did I have at most here? Let me see. I don't know how many people I had at most, but I have so much fun with this. At most, I had 55 by the looks of it, which is great. Sandra, yeah, I'm about to go, but I keep getting, as you know, with me, I just keep talking because I really, really enjoy meeting people. And I really, really enjoy talking to people. That it's now 3:05 a.m. and it's raining. Oh, pretty heavy too. Oh, you had to leave. Sandra, hopefully you can look back. Definitely go back and look, because there was some great stuff. We all had a nice emotional Ad Astra. Absolutely. Go back and take a look. I would like to say any more questions, because I do want to keep talking, to be honest. It's fine. It really is fine. It's Saturday night. What am I going to do? It's Sunday. I can sleep. Yeah, I might, you know what? I might leave I might leave it for a reaction video, and how about I'll film that in the coming week or so and see if I can pump that out. That would be good. I might call it a night and see if I can sleep. But I do really, really appreciate it. For those people who, out of the kindness of their heart, donated, thank you so much. So unnecessary, but so humble, and it really is. It means a lot, because money is hard to come by, and the fact that you would donate to me, I'm just a normal kind of person who just did this because I really enjoy it, and the fact that I can just talk to people all over the world is insane. So thank you. Sound Ocean, I wish to travel and live in Australia one day. Now during the pandemic, even more than ever. Living in Germany, really, people mess up so much during electoral campaigns. Look, I mean, we're both democratic countries. Australia's great. I love Australia. I personally, I wouldn't live anywhere else. I'm so happy here. I'm so fortunate. We have some great rights. On the most part, our healthcare system, I think, is pretty good. Sorry if you're in the US. I'm sorry. I would absolutely. I'm not going to bag out. I'm sorry. I'm not going to bag that out. So we're up there with good health. Canada's got a good healthcare system too. Yeah, I just think in general we're pretty good. The lockdown is very harsh here, but what can you do? They're trying to save lives. Sethlin, I started a bit late and was on a delay, but I wanted to thank you for the analysis. You're so welcome. I would never pick up on some of the connections between the movements you point. You are so welcome. You know what? I really enjoyed it, and I was making those connections, and they're light bulb moments for me. And when I did the Ghost Love Score one, it was a light bulb moment for me too, because I was sitting, every time I do this, I sit at the piano and I work out the chords. And for something like Ghost Love Score, for something like this, the harmony is very, very simple. And that's why I can play it, because it's not complex. It's not super fast. And the chords very much fit very easily within a key. So it's easy to sit down and work out and try to get connections with it. So they're all light bulb moments for me, and that's why I really wanted to come in and do this, because like the Ghost Love Score one, I needed to share my views. And for me, this is about going, I've got something to say, I want people to hear it. It's like preaching. It's like going, have you heard the news? Thomas is a great computer. Well, I mean, we know that. But for this reason, and maybe I'm wrong, who knows? But to me, it makes sense. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Jeanette, you will be able to catch up, and hopefully you did like it. You're so kind. It was so fun. And you're so. Oh no, I don't deserve all. Look, I have a full-time paying job. Obviously, you know, as you can tell, you know, from revenue that I've gotten from this stream, people have donated. I've made a tiny bit of money, but nowhere near anything to live on, and nowhere near enough to pay back my MacBook Pro. But that doesn't matter, because I'm doing this first and foremostly for the love of music. And is this something that I would like to eventually do full time? I think so. If I can actually get into a groove and get ideas. The hard thing is sitting down and doing ideas. And like I said before, there's the one which I did for my latest video. Check it out. I'd love to do more stuff like that, but not a lot, because I feel like playing is not my forte. But any recommendations you have, I would like to go down this road of doing some creative stuff. And I am very aware that's not what a lot of people signed up for. And if I lose subscribers for that, so be it. That's a blessing, because then I can hopefully gain some more for the right reasons. So thank you, Sound Ocean. That is really, really comment. That's only because you haven't been to Finland. You know what? I really do want to go to Finland. I don't want to do your winters though. So yeah, no envy there. And I feel like, I don't know how the summers are, but what is the sun up at 10 p.m? Lockdown has a reason it does. I'm not annoyed at lockdown, but again, I'm in such a privileged position. I'm a teacher. I'm a full-time teacher. Me and doctors will probably be the last people on earth that still have jobs. Okay, that's a stretch. But the point is that I'm in a safe job as a full-time teacher. I am so privileged and so fortunate that I haven't borne the brunt of this lockdown in Sydney in the same way many people have. So I understand their frustration, but I can't see it from their perspective because I don't feel it. But I can understand that it would be really, really hard, but it is for the greater good. And it's definitely actually helped. I would say that we would have had way more deaths. Nick has a good friend in Melbourne. Yeah. Sydney's great. I mean, I'm Sydney over Melbourne, but Melbourne is now the city with the longest lockdown in the world. They have completely smashed it. Sandra, you're a music teacher to the bone. That's what this channel is about. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what it always will be. You know, it's a music-related channel. I have other interests, but you know, music is the biggest thing, and that's where my knowledge. That's where my knowledge base is and has been for a long time. And again, as I say, I'm learning so much. This channel has taught me so much. Now I yearn for Australian more. Thanks. Often envied you when you're locked down. It makes things work. We never had a real Sound Ocean, yeah. But people keep... But you know what? Sound Ocean, people complain. People are just going to keep whinging and whinging and whinging. And they still do here. We've had protests on the street, and no doubt that was a a determining factor for rise of cases. We have had really high cases for a really strong lockdown. It's shocking to think about how bad the cases would have been if we didn't lock down. Winter's the best parts, are they? Like Australia's desert for us. To have 4 distinct seasons, yeah. In a safe job too, Sound Ocean, but when it comes to health, we've got too many people who don't give a yeah. It's the problem. I'm often the only one. Yeah. Here, masks are mandatory indoors. Masks are mandatory, get this, outdoors. Here in Australia. You are not required to wear a mask if you're doing exercise, but walking doesn't count as exercise. Sorry, when I say Australia, I mean Sydney, not in the whole country, just Sydney. Walking doesn't count as exercise. So when I go for a walk and I try and do a small walk every day, which is not really much exercise, but it, at least it's mentally helps me out a little bit. I don't mind being inside. I have to wear a mask outside. Just so you know. Yep. So Tanya, it is overkill. The reason why they've enforced that, they've actually in Sydney here created local area governments of concern. So they said these areas are more concerning than these areas are more concerning than these areas because these areas have more cases. So if you're in one of these areas, you need to wear a mask outside because in these areas, people are more likely to meet on the street and come together and talk and flout the rules. That's the reason why. But now they've made that citywide where you have to wear masks. It's more for enforcing that people have a mask on them rather than it being for health reasons because they're outside. It's more going, you need to have a mask on you. Even though you have to wear it, but you might come in contact with somebody else or you might meet somebody on the street who you know and you're like, oh, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time. So that's their rationale. We Canadians want to party all the time. Yeah, look, we're going to be out soon, hopefully, but I'm not whinging. I'm not one of the whingers, but there are a lot of whingers in Sydney. So I feel like, Germany, Canada, yeah, but I feel like the proportion of whingers are probably still there. We are supposed to be wearing masks outside and in public buildings. Yeah, okay, so Canada then is also gone all out. All right, now I should probably really go. This has been like a Nightwish COVID hangout chat. Let me know if you ever want to do a let's hang out and chat kind of thing, which is not music related. I'm happy to do that too, because as you know, I think we finished doing this like an hour and a half ago, and I've just been talking the whole time, and my mouth is dry. As a result, because I'd be happy to also do a just let's hang out and chat for a while. I'm not into doing a lot of reaction channels that do live streams do. Live stream, I'm taking your reaction requests. I don't mind doing that from time to time, but I'd rather it not be that. But we can make it somewhat music related. Anyway, I am really going now. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, Sandra, it really was nice. Especially that we're all kind of locked up. Again, 2 weeks time, fingers crossed. As I said, I can now have picnics. No downers. It's all good, Sound Ocean. Man got shot in Germany for insisting on customer to wear. Yeah, people are really crazy. Good morning, Nick. Yeah. People are taking this to the next level. They'll do anything they can to just make sure that everybody is unsafe. It's crazy. Move to Australia. You know what? We're welcoming, but I feel like we're still very, very backward. Because we are backward in ways, but other ways we're not. I had a really good time. I really did. Thank you so much. Everybody's amazing. And thank you again to those who donated. Thank you for staying. Thank you to the people who are 22 of you who are still here, even though I've been just banging on and talking for an hour and a half. Wow. Thank you so much. Take care. Have fun, whatever time of day you are. Just ticked over to 3:17 a.m. You know what? I was originally going to start the stream at 5 a.m. For me. Then I was thinking I'll do it at 3 a.m. But yeah, I'm really glad. If this time works for you, I'm super happy to do a stream around this time. Let me know, because it's easier for me. Even doing it an hour early, like my 11 p.m. You're so welcome, Tanya. Even doing it a bit earlier, like, let me know. I think the comments are open. Let me check. I think the comments are open in the video, the live stream. No, I don't think they are. Nightwish Lover just watched my in the club one. Yeah, if you maybe in my community board. So when I just post community stuff, if you just go to my channel, there is a post that I advertised my stream like a couple of days ago. If you want to comment on there your thoughts on the time, and if you think that it was a good time, if you think you can even do earlier, like an hour earlier, let me know, because I'd be keen to set a time if I ever do a live stream again. I'm not going to live stream all the time because it gets excessive, but just so that I can have a better time, because really I'd rather do this at 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. rather than wake up at 5 a.m. to be honest, or even 3 a.m. Thank you, Hot Possum, and hello, Hot Possum. Have you commented? I'm not sure if you commented before, but maybe you did. Maybe I missed it. But hello and thank you. You are so welcome. I'm every time I do these streams, I'm blown away by how amazing everybody is, the generosity in your time spent, and how awesome it is to just talk to people everywhere. Your analysis will definitely enrich my next listen to all. Yes, I'm glad. That's my go. That's what I want. It's been a hectic 2 years. All right, I'm going. Thank you so much. Take care. Anytime you comment anywhere, which is on a video or anything, I will always see it. If you want to hit me up on Instagram and message me, I'm not going to ignore you. I will always see it because you know what? I like talking to people, because I've been doing it for 2 hours straight now, which is not Nightwish related. Take care. Yeah, I do. There's a need for hangouts. You're so welcome. Katsin, I'm not sure if you commented earlier, but hello, and you are so welcome. You're so welcome as well. Yes, absolutely. Anyone, I don't know if any of the other Aussies are still here. They're probably not. But there was a couple from Sydney, so who knows? As I said, I haven't been recognized on the streets. I'm not that famous or popular. It's just whatever. Like, most of the people who watch me are in the US and Europe. A couple from Sydney, and then my students know about me, but I don't think they watch much often anyway, which is probably a good thing. Anyway, but yes, this is why I choose to be as family friendly as I can. A lot of reaction channels swear their heads off, and I'm actually starting to watch the ones that if I ever watch somebody even just drop the F-bomb in a video, it just makes me cringe. Not that I don't swear in general, like everybody does, I get it, but it's just a little bit too much. So I try to be as family friendly as possible, because there's no point saying the F word and swearing. You're welcome, Empha. I'm not sure if that's the first time you commented, and hello if you have. You are so welcome. Thank you. Take care. 3:20 a.m. for me. Maybe I'll go to sleep. Maybe I'll not. See you later. Until next time.